Hey everybody, it's the Dean from the Dean 13 channel. Hope everybody's well and health, fine, and with somebody there with spiritual matter, at least somebody you can at least sit down and have a cup of tea with. A little him-ha, niggle. As you know, I'm red hot on the trail of this Rodger Hallam. And the reason why is because all his values stand for nothing, okay? He's a speaker, he's an activist, he goes out, and as I said, been watching my YouTube, my opinion is that he's created so much havoc in society, him and his Extinction Rebellion group. It's now, causing conflict in society, which, I don't know what was able to grow as much as it has, because it's just like, grown overnight. But anyway, I'm not giving up on this guy because, as I said, I think his values, everything he stands for is wrong, okay? And I just want to give a little update on things because I think people need to be aware out there what's actually happening and what needs to happen, okay? Because all you guys seem to be on board with this man, Rodger Hallam, okay? There's a lot of, as I said, a lot of upheaval now and a lot of debate that he's caused, and that's not right. But so with this Rodger Hallam, I just want you to know the sort of man, that I think he is, and what sort of man he's put out he is himself, and what he said, and what his core beliefs are, and I state core beliefs, what he believes, and how this rebellion should be born, formed, and kept, and how it should be dispersed. And we all know, what I believe anyway, my opinion is that he's brainwashing, manipulating, and dominating the young, the old. That's where he's getting it. And he uses key words, okay? He's very clever at what he does, so he thinks. But anyway, the man apparently studied at King's College. He was a student, okay? He studied there. Now, that's in one interview that he stated, and it was on Time to Act Now. And that was in, where he held a talk and people come to listen to him. Sorry about that. And that was in Penzaz, Cornwall. Now, it was a hall meeting, everybody come in the hall and they listened to this Rodger Hallam, and everything from the time they got there, he explained everything about his core values, who he was, what he wanted, how he begun his rebellious years, and he did state from King's College, where he was a student, that he was a troublemaker, a rally maker. It always stirred within him to make that, and he put that out there. He let everybody know that, which I thought was a bit. But anyway, so with that, he not only talked about his younger days of being a rebellious person and what he did and what movements and so forth, and I never really heard what diplomas or what education side that he'd done or what he completed. He may have done. Excuse me, Rodger, if you have, but I didn't hear that. So, but the thing is that with this rally in Penzaz, Cornwall, that he was using really radical words to the elderly, mind you. A lot were elderly people, like words such as social disobedience, that was one, mass social collapse, that's another one, radical change. Well, we know that's he's already done that. He's trying to succeed with the radical change. And people out there that listen to this man are actually doing it. They're going radical. And the thing is, I believe that within this talk, when he spoke, that he put across the core values of what he believes should happen now with his movement, the Extinction Rebellion group. Now, he's even put demands on Greenpeace, which I find bizarre, because Greenpeace has been an organisation for donks, and he put demand on them going out with his other colleague and had a meeting with John Sukas, I believe. I'm terribly sorry. I did watch that interview. If I've got the man's name from Greenpeace, surname wrong, terribly sorry. But Sukas, I think, John. But to put demands upon him and what this Rodger Hallam thinks should happen or what they should do. And also how to stop within the government, how to bring down the government, which I thought was appalling, and what he thinks, why the government should be pulled down. And also another topic that he didn't really, he did to an extent, with little things that he said, like in the interview that he'd had a TV reporter that called in giving advice how to stop Parliament over there. Well, that's what he said. And he also spoke to police officers about certain ways of what they believed in, I think, or something like that, if you watch the interview. And that was on Time to Act Now. And that's on YouTube. But little things like that, and it made my mind boggle, because I thought to myself, if this guy's doing that, well, what if you know his core values are to bring down the system? Because even with the elite, you had a little dig at some man saying, oh, you know, something happened, and this elite man walked in and said, it's all got to happen for the climate change. Well, I don't know, you know, whether you're trying to get on the good side or not, I don't know, but I think really he's got a bit of a niggle with the elite and the government. And I thought to myself, with all your core values, you have nothing. You have your rallies, you have your activists, you go out, you make trouble in society, you say people have got to lay down, die, go to prison, you know, glue yourself to the road, chain yourself up, make sure that the government comes down because they're responsible, they're not doing anything, you meet your demands and everything's, you know, that. Well, I don't believe that, Rodger. What I believe is that people have got to stop listening to you and your rot and start a new group up, a new way for people to have hope, to sustain life. This Jim Bendell, he's a lovely man, and he's sustainability all the way. Now, people like that, the Masons, they've sustained life for hundreds of years. Things like that. I mean, people listen to you, Rodger, and the thing is that you hold nothing, apart from your little rallies and so forth, and you go out into the community and you say, I'm going to hold this park up and we're going to close down this, you know, shire and all that sort of thing and so forth to get our point of view across. But what happens at the end of the day? It's all dispersed. Nobody knows nothing. They go away worrying more than ever because of your brainwashing manipulation ways, where you could offer real hope, real change. The Peace Corps movement, where people could actually sustain life within their communities, call them villages, do things. How many years? You quote maybe 10, 15 years, something like that, before extinction hits. If that's the case, how come you aren't showing people ways? You're telling people the way how to be destructive, how to pull down society. Well, if that happens, nobody will have survived. There will be extinction to one another. So people, please listen to this. Make another movement, a good movement, the Peace Corps movement. That stands for, you know, the Peace Corps movement. It stands for Mother Nature in the middle, the core of the earth. You know? And out of that, we should be able to, I know everything now is upheaval, and a lot of people say, oh, you know, it's this, that, or the other, but it starts with the individual. We're human, we've been put on this planet, we're polluted, we've done everything. You know, we've added to it. Every individual on this damn planet has added to this problem. We've just been spoilt all the way. So, how about make a new movement? Do something. Sustain communities. Go out and do solar powered lights and that for your communities. Go out and do your food village banks for your communities. Sustain life. Do things. Collect your seeds. Do everything you got to. Grow fruit. Do things. The doomsday preppers do it for doomsday, and that's mad. Because if you look at them, they're so smart, but they're just waiting for the day. They've already done it. They haven't gone out and rebelled and done anything. They've just gone out and done that. Please, make a new movement up. The Peace Corps movement. There must be a better way. Because this Extinction Rebellion group is doing nothing but bringing down the system and tearing people apart. That's all that's happening here. The Peace Corps movement. Make another movement that's good for everybody, society, so everybody unites. It can be done from this day on for 10 years. If everybody sustained life within their own villages, their own suburbs, own communities, collected seeds, did things, grew things, you know, go out and slaughter meat, do things, working with people, you know, do things to sustain life. If you know extinction's happening, are you just going to wait around for it? Or are you going to go to these silly rallies and do nothing at the end of the day and be more frustrated than ever? I mean, I'd rather go out if I had people around me and my community was rallying around and saying, well, we've got a problem, we've got to sustain life, because if extinction's coming, we at least want to be able to have that chance of survival. And you can do that. And everybody can unite. We're not going to be able to save the whole world. We know people are starving out there, but that's overpopulation. Maybe if there was a way, and I don't know, I don't want to be cruel, but there's a lot of people out there would agree, I believe, and a lot of people out there that are suffering. They can't feed children, that, you know, don't have a choice, and they are impregnated at early ages, and they have no choice. They're starving themselves. They've got no better way. Maybe contraception given to them. Maybe if that was offered to them, maybe they'd take it. Stop the population growth for a start. That would be one thing, but not by destruction and killing and bringing down the system, but doing sensible ways. But we can't save the whole entire planet. But yourself as individuals, everybody think about what you're doing, because you can make another movement, the Peace Corps movement, another movement, a better way, the hope for the young, the adolescents. They're listening. They want a better way and a better change. Do you really want rebellion for your young? Do we? I don't think so. I don't think society does. So make another movement, the Peace Corps movement. Get people on board that are really, you know, really good for that, for a cause that stands for something. And peace and the core of Mother Earth, they go to one, don't they? They're in one. This Rodger Hallam, well, a lot of people will listen to him. And a lot of people will, at the end of the day, be more frustrated than ever. But make a new movement. The Peace Corps movement, it can be done with everybody. Rally together with your community, sustain life, do things now. From now in 10 years' time, you could sustain life. Be very surprised. Don't wait for your governments. Don't wait for your councils. And then if there's injustice with that, then upheave, you know, then object. Because then your sustainability that you sustain life, you should have the right to. Anyway, that's my little him-ha niggle. Look, Rodger, if you're listening to this, and I'm sure that you actually do get on board and have a look at my YouTubes, It's not that I dislike you personally. It's just that unfortunately you aren't right for society. And you do want anarchy. And unfortunately, I don't know whether that's personal, and you may have experienced bad things in your life for you to come to these conclusions. But you've always said you're an activist and a rebellious person from younger years. But if you could, for yourself, Rodger, think about that. Because you say bringing down the government in the UK and so forth. Now, Rodger, really, I believe in the monarchy. Does that believe in bringing down the Queen and the royals and the castles? And if that does, society, look at that, because that's one thing he hasn't said. But if for him to bring down the government and for all this to happen, that must happen. That must be in the back of his brain. He must be thinking that. But he hasn't said that. So think about that, society, and think about that, Rodger. Peace Corps movement. Make a new movement. Make a better movement for hope, for change, for sustainability for life. Give the young a better way, and they will carry that on for generations without any violence. There will be peace and harmony. Anyway, that's my him-ha niggle. As I said, I'm red hot on this Rodger Hallam's case, and I always will be until it's heard. For a better way to come out. There's got to be better movements, and it's got the Peace Corps movement. Come on, somebody form that. Anyway, that's my point of view. Everybody, until next time, look after yourself. 4 codes, what are they? Respect, dignity and honour and integrity, as I said. And also, look after yourself. Be with somebody that you like, love, you're happy with, you're safe with, most of all. And as I said, at least not have somebody you can at least have a cup of tea with. Lots of things to debate today. All right. Bye, everybody, from the Dean 13. Bye. Oh, I keep saying, or forgetting, like, subscribe and comment. So, I've said it. Please. Bye, everybody, the Dean 13. Bye.